I'm doing a presentation on big data and semantic technology. Don't worry, I'm going to explain what those terms mean in the presentation. Quick background, I'm a senior at Marymount. First day, I just transferred last August. First day I came in, I met Dr. Murphy. She talked to me about interest, made Dr. Narak my advisor right there and then. And then Destiny came, and I'm actually super inspired by and passionate about big data, so it worked out really well that I got Dr. Narak. Okay, let me start. This is my music. All right. Right now, according to some research, human knowledge doubles every 12 months. Some research says it's 18 months, but that's our knowledge from the beginning of our recorded history. Doubles every 12 months. Just in the year 1900, that took 100 years to do. After World War II, it took 25 years. And right now, we're at 12 months, doubling. That's an exponential growth of our knowledge. IBM predicts that soon we'll be at every 12 hours, but we're not there yet. But I'm just think about that. All right. It's kind of loud. It's stopping. It's okay. You can just hop through. Okay. All right, let's gauge data nowadays. How big is the internet? It's estimated 5 million terabytes. That is 312,500,000 iPhone 5Ss, 16 gigabytes, just to gauge it in there. Google has mapped only 200 terabytes. That's 0.004%. So that's just, Google is our everything right now, and it's not even close to being everything that's out there. Okay, this is an interactive question. How much data do you think is needed to index the human brain? You know, internet is 5 million terabytes. Can anyone venture a guess? Brave soul. Huh? More is right. More is good enough? More is all I'm looking for. The answer is estimated several billion petabytes. That's more than a terabyte. This is a size comparison. 1 megabyte, if gauged in physical size, is the equivalent of an ant. 1 megabyte is about a large novel. If you're a fast reader, that'll take a couple hours. If you're a slow reader like me, a couple days to cover an ant's worth of information. Gigabyte, everyone knows what that is. Everyone interacts with gigabyte. Our data systems, our phones run on gigabyte measurements. Terabytes was the internet. That is, 1 terabyte is equal to an annual world literature production, and that's the size of the length of the Auckland Harbor Bridge. I don't know what that is, but it's a bridge, and it's much bigger than an ant. A petabyte is the equivalent of all US research libraries. And if an ant was 1 megabyte, a petabyte is the length of New Zealand. Exabyte, I don't even get to that. It's huge. It says 2/3 the annual production of information. It's the diameter of the sun, and it's enormous. And it's just the numbers. 1,000 kilobytes is equal to 1,000 megabytes. It's just multiplied by 1,000 to each step. What is big data? Well, it's a band, actually. They're playing at Firefly this summer. I'm going to go see them. Okay, but actually, in this sense, big data is a broad term for data sets so large or complex that traditional data processing applications are inadequate. Challenges include analysis, capture, curation, search, sharing, storage, transfer, visualization, and information privacy. I was told that there were too many technical terms in my proposal, so I will make it easier for everybody. It's basically, there's tons of data out there, and our traditional ways of managing that data with traditional databases is not enough, it's not sufficient, it's not scalable, and we're looking for solutions to make it scalable so we can actually harness this data. Okay, I'm going to pause this. Oops. Please. And then I'm going to show you a quick clip explaining So that's just a quick overview on what big data is. Okay. And gonna change my song. And then go over. All right, we're gonna talk about scalability and searchability. Okay, right now the data sets are huge, and we need to make sure our methods of searching, sorting, and categorizing that data is scalable. What does scalable mean? It means as the data size gets larger, we need to be able to not lose search times. We don't want search times longer. We don't want them run inefficiently. We want it to be able to our search methods and our organization methods to scale up with the data sizes as they go up. Searchability is the same thing. We want just to maintain. It's like we want to be able to maintain the same speeds we are at lower data amounts as higher data amounts. And this allows us to harness the power of big data. Okay, example, Twitter. Tons and tons of data are added to Twitter daily. And there's something out there called a word cloud. And what happens is you enter in a bunch of text. In this case, all of my tweets, thousands and thousands of my tweets. And the biggest words are the ones you use most frequently. And it goes down to the words you use least frequently. Zooming in, I love to love things and tell people I love things. So that's the biggest word. Little girl crazy. I love pretty girls. My best friend, Sammy. I had some trouble with Dell customer service, so I spammed them for a little bit. I love watching The Biggest Loser, The Office, and I like to play League of Legends. So you just learned all that about me in just a few seconds. You just gathered all my data, and we put it in a form that was easy to view, easy to see, and you know me a little better now. Test. Okay. All right. I'm gonna pause this. I'm gonna show you an example that first inspired me to look into big data. It's an application. It's this guy. He put a camera in the middle of every room of his house and recorded everything that happened in his home for 2 years. And it was during this time his baby son had just been born, and it was mapping his language acquisition. Where in the house he learned new words, how he transformed Gaga into water. I'm just gonna show you his time lapse of him turning the word Gaga into water. Yep. So that's just, if you noticed in the background, if you're listening, a lot of times where he was saying water, what do we hear in the background? We heard water running, right? I'm a little low on time, so I'm not going to show you, but what this guy did, he mapped out what rooms water was at the most, and it was kitchen and bathroom, and I try to show you a little bit. No, I'm going to skip it for now. But it was really interesting. He was able to gained so much insight, and he has so many memories that for his son, to show his son that his son would not have had in any normal circumstance. Okay, skipping ahead. Okay, Oceanlink Project is a project to create an online platform that addresses scholarly discovery and collaboration in ocean sciences. The project levers semantic technologies, web mining, and crowdsourcing to identify links between data centers, digital repositories, professional societies to enhance discovery, enable collaboration, and begin to assess research contribution. What does that mean? It is a semantic technology. So first, let's define semantic technology. It is software that encodes meanings. I'm going to not read that all. Basically, it is a software that uses data to describe data to increase our speed of searches. So instead of searching whole documents in each one of your searches, you're going to instead label documents with keywords that describe the document. So when you're doing your search, you only search those keywords. And that way, it's less data to run through. Your searches become faster. That data, about data, that's called metadata. And we use that to label our information and make things faster in our search time. Another word, crowdsourcing. I'm sure more people have heard about this one. I'm going to skip that large thing. It's basically gathering resources from large groups of people. Most of the time, it's online communities, and it lets you do things that you usually wouldn't be able to do going through traditional methods. And given the time, I won't show the video, I'll just explain it. How many people have heard of Kickstarter? Kickstarter. I'm a big gamer. I hope to have a career in gaming someday, not necessarily development, but perhaps in big data analysis. And right now, in the past, the only two ways to develop a game was to get publisher funding or investor funding. And when you did that, you sacrificed, sometimes you had to sacrifice gameplay. There was conflict of interest because publishers and investors, their bottom line is money, whereas your bottom line as a developer may be more quality gameplay, different types of gameplay. And with crowdfunding, you can do the more niche, supposedly dead genres of gaming, and like all you have to do is ask people what they want. And if they agree with you, they're going to fund you. And even if your idea is less popular, you're still going to get funding if you have the right amount of people to do it with you. And it opens up opportunities for games that wouldn't have actually been made. Right now in the gaming and movie industry, you're seeing lots of sequels, right? Sequels, there's like Avengers 3, and there's Matrix 3, Fast and Furious 7. The reason why that's happening is because those are safe releases. We know when they release, even if they're not that great, people are going to go to see it. We're not going to lose money on it. But with Kickstarter, we know ahead of time that we have the funding for it, and we can make what people want because we got the money ahead of time. We know that's what they want. So it provides more opportunities. There was a video, but I'm not going to show it. Okay. What I'm doing with Oceanlink is I'm adding crowdsourcing to it. All right. Oceanlink currently uses algorithms to link people, research, documents. And these links that are created automatically, but sometimes the links aren't perfect. There could be errors in them because there's some things that only people can pick up. And that's where the man in the loop comes in. The man is the human, the loop is the algorithm. The man needs to make decisions to verify that what the loop did, the algorithm did, was correct. And that causes a bottleneck effect. It limits scalability. We have, so the algorithm can be as fast as you want, but if we put a man in the loop, we slow it down because humans aren't as fast as computers. We have to find a way to open up that bottleneck and make it faster, more scalable. And we find the answer's already out there. It's in social media. There's links already out there in social media. Everyone's connected. If you have on your friends list, if they're on your friends list, they're probably people you've collaborated in your research with before. I've never done a paper where I haven't friended the person I'm working with. So we think the answer is in finding people in social media, linking them together to verify those links to make sure they're right, to put more men in the loop, to make it more scalable. And here's an example. Okay. Oh my God. Okay. Here's Sean, me, on social media. The I'm making a Facebook app, so it'll find me if he sees me in a document on Oceanlink. It says S. Nguyen wrote this with A. Kendrick. Actually, I'm going to change it from documents to movies because it's more fun. S. Nguyen made a movie with A. Kendrick, and it looks online on Facebook and finds all the S. Nguyens and finds Sean Nguyen to be one of them. And it asks Sean Nguyen, "Are you this S. Nguyen in this Pitch Perfect 3 movie?" And I say yes, and it finds me, it accesses my list, it sees an Anna Kendrick on my friends list, and it says, "Oh, is this the A. Kendrick that's listed in the Pitch Perfect 3 movie?" I say yes. It finds Anna Kendrick, and she confirms it, and we're linked. Pitch Perfect 3, Anna Kendrick. And it does the same thing it did with me with Anna Kendrick. It says, "Hey, are you in this movie Up in the Air with G. Clooney? Are you in this movie 50-50 with S. Rogen?" She says yes, and more people join the crowd, and the link grows, the people in the crowd grows exponentially. The men in the loop increases, and we gain scalability. Okay. How much time do I have now? Okay, this is the part where I try to inspire you. Okay. Oh God. Okay, right now, I went back to this slide because this is where it starts. This is where we remember how much data is out there, how much we have to harness. The things that we thought were impossible just a decade ago are happening now. They're like the telephone watches, those exist now. Back in like 10 years ago, I was in middle school, and I would never have thought that life in Mars would ever be possible. And Elon Musk, he wants to be the first man to be born on Earth and die on Mars. He's building a spaceship that's going to bring 100 colonists to Mars, and he's planning to launch in 10 years. 10 years. I did the research. It does not look fun to be there. But that's the thing. We're 10 years ago. I didn't think it was possible. 10 years ago. I mean, 10 years from now, it might be personal. X-Men. Virtual reality systems, the X-Men Danger Room, I always thought it'd be fun. In Star Trek Voyager, there was like a simulation virtual reality room. We always thought that was impossible. It's happening slowly, bit by bit, in Oculus Rift. We are going to, I believe that one day I will be in a fully immersive environment. Even as I'm old and my physical body is declining, my mind will be exploring new worlds. And Google car. Any questions? Oh, let me turn off this music. It's a problem we're solving. We're finding new ways to make data storage more efficient, smaller. The algorithms that can store are a really big deal. If you ever watch the HBO show Silicon Valley, the big seller it's something nerdy. It's just a software that can efficiently store data at a more efficient rate, and that's it. It's so small, yet it's making big impact. Of course, the software they describe in the show doesn't exist yet, but one day it will. So to answer your question, yes, it's still a problem. I think it's always going to be a problem, but I think it's one that we're gaining ground on every day. Okay.